If you are thinking about moving to the North Dallas or North Fort Worth area, then this is the video for you. We are going to take you on a tour of a beautiful David Weekley model home here in the town of Argyle in a community called Harvest. I am Jennifer Fowler, along with my husband and cameraman Brandon. We run Fowler Realty Team here in the North Texas area. We have people just like you reaching out to us all the time looking to make a move here. We absolutely love that. So if that's you and you're looking to move in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send an email. All the info is in the description below. So Argyle is located just north of the Fort Worth area, and this community, Harvest, is a master plan community in Argyle. We have a whole video all about Harvest, so you're definitely going to want to take a look at that one. But for now, let's go take a look at this beautiful model home. So this David Weekley home is around 50 square feet. It's got 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, meeting room, and an upstairs living room loft area. We'll show you all of that in a minute, but first, let's go ahead and take a look at the heart of the home, always my favorite. As we're walking through the home, notice that these beautiful floors flow all through the house rather than breaking up each room. You're going to have these beautiful floors that flow throughout. Before we get to the living room, let's just take a little bit of a pause here and look at this home office. This would, for me, this would be a home office. I suppose if you wanted to, you could use it as a dining room, but I like to think of it as a home office, maybe flex space. And then Brandon, really quick, before we look at this office, I want to show y'all something else because I want you to notice this as you're going through the home. The home to me does have more of a modern feel. However, you can see that they have added shiplap as well. So you get a little bit of both. I'm a huge fan of that. The foyer is nice and long. The ceilings here are very tall, and they took the shiplap all the way up to the top of the ceiling. I think that just gives it a much more luxurious and finished look. But back to this room in here, you got these 2 beautiful big windows. There's no detailing on the windows, so it just lets all the light in without any interruption. And I do like how they have this brick wall, the accent wall over here with the brick. Okay, as we make our way to the living room and the kitchen, over here on this side, you will have a half bath and your laundry room. Garage door is over here as well on that side. But I can't wait for you to see this fabulous kitchen. This one is one of my absolute favorites that we have seen. I like several things about this kitchen that I like. The cabinets. I like that this house is bright enough to be able to have the black cabinets in here. Also, I like the way that the kitchen is oriented compared to the rest of the living space. It is very open, as you can tell. It's a very open kitchen. However, it is still somewhat separated from the living room. So your sofa is not right up to your island or right up to the bar. You definitely have some separation there. So open yet separate. And I say that all the time because it's one of my favorite designs on a home. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this kitchen. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple more things that I really like about this kitchen. The island. It's a very large island. And look, we see large islands in homes often these days. But what I like about this is there's nothing in it. There's no sink. There is not even a vegetable sink. The oven, the stovetop isn't in here either. So you get nothing but island. A lot of great prep space here. I like how they combined the black with this more of a brushed gold or maybe even an antique gold. And I still do get a modern feel in here, but we've got the shaker style cabinets. So I'm a big fan of that. And then over here on this side above the sink, these 2 beautiful windows that once again are going to let in a lot of light. as we're looking here at the windows, I want you to notice two things. So the first is the window is encased with the same tile that's on the backsplash. And I like that the window sill, rather than being wood, they use the same material as the countertop. And it's actually deep enough to put all of your sun-loving plants up here. But there's another thing that I really like about what they have done in this kitchen, and I say this all the time if you can do it, and that is to take your tile all the way up to the ceiling and just finish it out. It's such a small amount of tile, but it really makes a big impact on the way the kitchen looks finished, and it just gives it, once again, a more luxurious feeling and look as well. So I really like how they did that. These cabinets do go all the way to the top of the ceiling. I like that they have the glass up there. Then over here you do have your gas cooktop. It is gas in this neighborhood, with your microwave and oven down here. So the base price of this home is around $600,000, but the way you see it all finished out is just under $700,000. Like I mentioned before, it is 3540 square feet with 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and a lot of other space as well. So we've just taken you from the front door into the kitchen, and now we're going to take you from the kitchen into the dining or breakfast nook that once again is off to the side in its own space. Got a good amount of space here, several windows that once again bring in a lot of light, and that brings you over here into your living room. So come on into the living room, and Brandon, show them how tall these ceilings are. It's the same as the foyer, but it just looks really expansive in here. But also what I like is that this ceiling over here does slope down a little bit, so you get the height on one end, but then you get a little bit more of a cozy feeling over here on this end. A lot of beautiful windows. I like the double windows up here, and then the accent wall that they've done over here on this side really just gives it a very finished look. Now this home does not have a fireplace. We have some of our clients that must have one, and we have some that they don't want one at all in their home. So you just never know. So I really like how they have the double windows up here. There's no reason to not take your windows as high as you can to let in all of that beautiful natural light. Then we're going to come around here to this side, which is right behind Brandon, and you have the beautiful staircase here. And what I like about the staircase being here is it's not at your front door. So as soon as you open the front door, you don't have a staircase right in front of you. I like that it's somewhat tucked away from the front of the house, and it really is beautiful, especially with the wrought iron finishing here. It really is a beautiful piece, and that they have taken the wood all the way up the staircase as well. And I know you probably already saw this whenever Brandon was panning the ceiling, but let's just take a second to admire these 3 light fixtures here in the space. I like how they chose to fill the space with those light fixtures. To me, they kind of give I don't know, I feel like they kind of give an old Spanish style feel to me. I think it's absolutely stunning. So anytime you are going to look at new construction or model homes, make sure you take your realtor with you on the very first visit. Sometimes if you don't, the builder might not allow you to be represented by one at all. And we think it's very important to have someone in your corner advocating for you and someone to help you navigate the process of new construction. There's also price increases that can happen sometimes, price changes. There are incentives that come and go. And also, build times can take several months depending on the size of your home and who the builder is. So even if you're looking to move in 9 months, 6 months, or even a year, now would be a good time, especially if new construction is something you're thinking about. Now would be a good time to go ahead and contact us so you can know the timeline of your build. Okay, so here we are in this light and bright master bedroom, and once again the flooring has gone from the front of the home into the kitchen, the living room, and now into this bedroom, which I think is a really good idea so your eye is not breaking up too many times. Spacious room. You have a king size bed, 2 good sized nightstands, a dresser. I always like to point that out. whenever we go into the bedrooms, just so you can get a sense of how big it is and what all fits in the space. I really like these two little windows up here just to let in a little bit more light. Great detail behind the bed. Always do something if you can behind the bed. In this room, they have an accented beam that goes all the way across the ceiling. Good size accented beam with a beautiful chandelier as well. All right, and this David Weekley bathroom does not disappoint. So y'all come take a look inside this bathroom. There's just so much space, I feel like, just to walk around. I like the little bit darker floors, how they have the gray mixed with the more light brown floors throughout the rest of the house, and this pretty, I call it grayish colored cabinets, not brown, not gray, but a really pretty color cabinet with the dual sinks over here. And anytime you have the option to do this in new construction, if you have the option to have a standalone tub versus one that has a surround, go for the standalone tub. They look like a piece of art, and even visually, they just don't take up as much space visually, and actually, literally, they don't take up as much space as a surround. So go for this. And when you are picking out a lot of items in new construction, of course, do what you want, get what you want. It's your home. But if you know eventually you're going to sell that home, also think of future buyers in mind. We know that a lot of buyers prefer a bench seat. Is it right? Bench seat, window seat, hun, in the master bedroom? Yes. It's actually preferred by most buyers. Honestly, fireplaces probably would be preferred by most as well. So ask your sales rep, ask your builder, what is, more popular, what do people like? Because you might want to lean a little bit more in that direction. Okay, so we see this part of the bathroom, a beautiful, good size shower. And once again, the tile goes all the way up to the ceiling. Okay, so and here's a little trick. If you are wanting to modernize your house a little bit, but you don't want to go too trendy or too modern, then you can always take a traditional tile like subway tile, or this I would consider somewhat traditional as well. But you can stack it rather than stagger the tile, and that is going to give it a much more modern look, but yet you're keeping with a more traditional material. In a home like this, a David Weekley home, you are going to get a toilet closet with a door, a nice size master closet. And since this is a model home, there's not a door, but there would traditionally be a door, I believe, on this room, and a linen closet in the bathroom as well. So plenty of storage. So here in this upstairs space, there are 2 additional bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a media room. And then, of course, you're going to have your loft area or your living room area as well. So like I mentioned earlier, this community of Harvest is just north of Fort Worth in Argyle, Texas. And in this master plan community, like several others, there are actually 2 school districts. So anytime you're going to look at homes, whether it's model homes and new construction or pre-owned homes, just know that sometimes in the same neighborhood, there could be 2 different school districts. So you're always going to want to make sure that your student is going to the school that you want them to go to, because you do have to be zoned for the specific school that your student is in. You can find that out by going to whatever city you're in. So this one would be Argyle ISD. So you would go to Argyle ISD and look and see where their zoning is. You can always call the schools just to make sure, because sometimes the zoning maps might not have street names. I know for the city we live in, when we look at zoning maps, you can see the city, but there's no street name, so it can be a little bit difficult. So you can call the schools, look at the ISD websites, and also in order to look at ratings for a school, any school, you can look up greatschools.org or niche.com just to check out what the ratings of the schools are. So the community of Harvest is what we call a master plan community. So that means it's got pool, splash pad, so much here. It has events, not just weekly events, but seasonal and holiday events as well.
I'm pretty sure in the past when they brought Santa Claus out to the neighborhood, he brought one of his reindeer with him.
Okay, so a lot of things like that. You've got volleyball, pickleball.
They also have 2 fitness centers, one at the front of the community, one at the back of the community.
Catch and release pond.
The back porch.
Yes.
Which is just
an open air pavilion, maybe.
Lots of walking trails.
Walking trails, biking.
And didn't they just opened another pond in the back?
They did. An activity pond. So it's an activity pond. So yes, you can do kayaking and things like that. And then, like I said, they do have the catch and release fishing pond as well. But one thing we love about Harvest is, whenever we are here, we just see kids riding their bicycles with each other, out on the green space playing football. Oh, there's also an awesome coffee shop here that is in an original farmhouse.
Yeah, it was actually built by, I'm not sure who built it, but it was built a really long time ago.
Yes, and people actually lived in it.
And
now,
it into a neighborhood coffee shop.
Farmhouse Coffee and Treasures in the neighborhood. So we just think that Harvest is a really cool neighborhood.
Another neat thing they do right next to the coffee shop is they have their community garden.
That's right. They do have a community garden here. So we have an entire video all about Harvest, though. So like I said earlier, definitely go back and take a look at that one because this really is an amazing community to live in. We actually have some clients that just moved into the neighborhood, and we're so excited for them and their family to be in this neighborhood. They've got new construction here, but there's also a lot of pre-owned homes for sale as well. How fun is this room? I mean, this is absolutely adorable. But I did want to talk a little bit about where we are again. Like I said, we are in the city of Argyle, which is close to Justin and North Lake as well, which is North Fort Worth. There are a lot of conveniences around. You've got shopping, dining, grocery shopping.
Right. They're building, I believe it's a Tom Thumb. Right.
Yes.
Almost at the entrance of the neighborhood.
Of this neighborhood, yes.
They just opened a Chick-fil-A. They just opened a McDonald's.
Yes.
And then you're just minutes away from
Costco. Yes. HEB. Oh, we did get an HEB in North Fort Worth. If you're not familiar with HEB, it's a very, very popular not restaurant. I say that all the time. Grocery store in South Texas that has finally made its way to us, and we are super excited about that. But Target and Walmart are close by. We get that question every time, pretty much, when we do Zoom calls, is how close is it to Target and Walmart?
Tanger,
and you're close.
Outlet Center?
Tanger Outlet Mall. I think I already said Costco. You're close to I-35 West, which is a major highway. So just wanted to talk a little bit about where we are because I know that is important to a lot of people.
Another big convenience is your proximity to the DFW International Airport.
Yes.
You're probably 30
minutes
on a good day. You're about 35 minutes from downtown Fort Worth, Sundance Square.
Yeah. Probably
45 minutes maybe from downtown Dallas. So lots of activity within a very short drive.
Yes. So if you're a commuter, if you travel for business, then the airport's not that far. And of course, you're going to get a nice covered patio with a David Weekley home, which is really important in this hot Texas heat in the summertime, but it's also a nice convenience to have for when we have our beautiful spring and fall weather as well. So like I mentioned a few times, we do have a video all about Harvest and other homes in this community as well. So make sure you go back, take a look at those, and we'll see you on the next one.